Hey Bessing Bob members, Joe Graffman here today, and today you guys are in for a treat. We're doing the monthly hot bait topic. So basically what that means is each month we're discussing a new bait of what is kind of hot and what's going to be hot throughout the next month and what's coming up in the future of what bait to fish. Last month we did a segment on the big worm. I'll leave the link below in this video and you guys can check that out as well. I hope you guys liked it. And today we're going to be talking about a Crockett Gator lock jig head. This jig head was originally made by Wayne Fitzpatrick, the owner of Fitz Fishing, and he made them a bunch, and they really became so popular that Crockett Gator actually started making it for them. And so now it's called the Crockett Gator lock jig head. And I'm telling you what, guys, with Lake of the Ozarks being here, and one of the things about Lake of the Ozarks is you guys look around in the background of this video is there's docks everywhere. I mean, you can pitch docks and skip docks, and that's a great way to catch fish in this late summertime that we're getting into right about now. So first off, I'm going to start talking about kind of the characteristics of this bait and what I like about it. So one of the most important things when he decided to start making this was something to separate it apart from a lot of other jig heads. So if you look at the back of this, you can see that it has a wire coming down that's bent. So basically what that's for is once you put your bait and you slide it up on your hook, you can press this wire in right over that, just over your hook, and it'll keep that bait from pulling down. And I'll rig this up in a little later on and we can show you guys more about that. The other thing I like about it is it's got a big hook in it. So when you're pitching those docks, and a lot of those jig heads on other jig heads, they don't have the big hook that you need. This one has a big heavy hook in it to where you can set the hook and get it in the fish every time. Another nice thing is the weed guard. With all the cables on Lake of the Ozarks around these docks and all the brush piles that these dock owners put out, you want something that's going to be able to come through the brush but still have action to the trailer. So this jig head here is the one you guys are going to want to have on all your jig heads. Crockett Gator lock jig head is where it's at. As we talked about earlier with the size of this hook, it's really nice because there's a lot of different baits and trailers that you can put on the back of it. I like to throw a D-bomb that's made by Missile Baits. The color I like is black neon. That's just personally me when I'm fishing shallow, fishing dirty water. I just prefer a black with a little red, and that black neon does the trick really well. Here's how I rig my bait onto the jig head. Simply just take it through the top of the head of the worm, take it down to where it starts to poke out, slide it all the way up on there. Sometimes I put a little bit of super glue on there as well. That'll help to keep it up there. But with this wire, you won't even really need it. You'll take it and you'll look to see where it is, and that's the bend there. So I'll push it through the bait, lock it into place, and this bait is on there for good. It's not going to slide down. You can catch multiple fish on this bait, and most of the times they're not going to take this bait off, and you won't have to change it unless they rip the pinchers off of it. We talked about the jig and we talked about the baits that you can put on it, and now we're going to talk about the rod and reel combo that I like to use. I like to use a loose custom speed stick. It's a 7'4" heavy action rod. So it allows you to pull those fish out behind the docks, over the cables, around the brush piles, without even worrying about them controlling you. You control them. As soon as you set the hook, you know that you're going to get that fish in the boat more times than not. It's a 7'4" with a fast tip, so it allows you to skip that bait under the places you need to. Now as far as reel selection goes, I like a loose speed spool. This is a 6:4:1 gear ratio reel. It has 10 ball bearings, and I like to use 20-pound fluorocarbon line. I won't go with anything less than 20 pound. That's just my confidence and what I am used to fishing. If you guys have any questions, comments, or anything you would like answered in the next following video, you can just simply email me. I'll leave my email at the end of the video. Stay tuned at bassingbob.com for more awesome videos. Thanks, guys.